Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So the other day I was watching YouTube. I don't remember what channel, um, and they were making eggs, and they put cottage cheese in their eggs. Now I had never thought to do that. Now my mom used to use cottage cheese when she would make lasagna, and I've never done that either. And I thought, why haven't I done it? That's the way I grew up eating lasagna. I don't know. I use ricotta cheese instead. But I thought, it made the eggs look really good. So I thought, I'm going to give it a try, but I'm going to do it in an omelet form. So I thought I'd bring you along for us to give this a try. So let's get going on it. So I'm going to add tomatoes to my omelet. And I have some leftover tomatoes from the other night where I made something. I think I made a salad. And so I'm just going to use up my leftover tomatoes. I'm just going to dice them up and use those in my omelet. Omelets are great. You can put whatever you want in them. So why not add some tomato? And I'm not dicing these up to any rhyme or reason. I'm just cutting away. But you can actually make them look a lot better than what I've done. It's up to you. So this is going to be quite an experiment here. Maybe this person who showed this is onto something. I don't know. It sounded really good to me though. Using cottage cheese. I heard it's supposed to make the eggs creamier. I guess we'll see. So when I decided to do an omelet, I just kind of went into the refrigerator and saw what was there, and that's what determined what I was going to use to put in it. All right, so I got my eggs chopped, and I'm going to grab a sip of tea here. Sorry, my allergies have been acting up lately. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 eggs. I'm going to scramble these up. Now, I usually add water to make it fluffier. So I may do that. We'll just have to see. Okay, so and then if I recall correctly, and like I said, I'm just making this up as I go along, she just used a couple tablespoons of cottage cheese. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use a couple tablespoons. I'm going to mix this up, and I am going to add a little bit of water just to make it creamier or make it puffier when it cooks. Because this is what I would have normally have done with just a regular omelet. So let me add just a little bit. I only add about like a tablespoon or a teaspoon, sorry. Not a lot. Okay, so we have it mixed up. We have that. I do have cheese, and it's over by the stove. So let's move over to the stove and get going on this. Okay, so we're now over here. I'm going to add a little bit of butter to my pan, and I'm going to turn it on. We're going to get the butter to melt and the pan to heat up, and then we'll add the eggs. Have you ever used cottage cheese in your eggs? If so, how did it turn out for you? I'm curious. This should be interesting. Okay, so it's really getting hot, so I'm going to go ahead and add the eggs and the egg mixture. Okay, now what I do is I put a lid on and I turn down my heat and I let it just cook there with the lid on, kind of steaming. I think it's going to be yummy. What do you think? It's starting to fluff up a little bit. I keep taking the lid off like I'm expecting something miraculous to have happened. Now the cottage cheese, from what I understand, is not going to melt. And it really is not melting. Do you see that? It's just not melting at all. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add the tomatoes because I want them to get a little hot. And I'm also going to go ahead and add cheese. Now I'm just using sliced cheese. Normally you would use shredded cheese, but I didn't want to shred any cheese and I don't have any already shredded. So I thought sliced cheese it is. I'm going to put the lid back on. Let it cook for a minute or two. Okay, so I'm going to plate this up and I will bring you back for that. Okay, so here is the finished product. If you notice, I did not put any salt and pepper on my omelet because I generally don't put salt and pepper on there until I'm ready to eat it. I want to taste it first to see if it needs any of those things. So that's why I always wait. So, but yeah, here's the finished. I think it's going to be delicious. Like I said, the cottage cheese did not melt up like it other cheeses do, but that's okay. I like cottage cheese. So I want to thank you for coming along with me on this journey and trying out something different and something I've never tried before. I have made many omelets, but never one with cottage cheese. And I did take a bite of it, and it is delicious. It's nice and creamy like I thought it would be. The only thing is that the cottage cheese does not melt like other cheeses, so that was a little different, but that's okay. But, you know, because a recipe's just God, you make it your own, and you do whatever you want to do with it. I do want to remind you that when you make an omelet, you can whatever's in the refrigerator can go into your omelet. So if you have leftover green beans or mushrooms or onions or whatever can go in there. So that's kind of what I did was I just went through the refrigerator and saw what was in there and decided that that's what I would use. I had leftover tomatoes. I thought I had leftover bacon, but I couldn't find it until after I'd already made the omelet. So when I was putting stuff away, I was like, oh, there it is. So I didn't add that. And I didn't want to shred up cheese, so I just used sliced cheese. And I used provolone sliced cheese is what I used. I don't think I told you that. But that's what I used. And I love provolone cheese. Well, I love cheese in general. So it was good. But that's what I did. I didn't have anything else in there that I would have added to my omelet or that I wanted to add to my omelet. I didn't have any like ham or any other kind of lunch meat. I do have pepperoni, but that didn't sound good to me, so I didn't add that. So, but you could just do cheese. You could even just make scrambled eggs with it. It's up to you. Do whatever you want. So, once again, though, I hope that you are having an amazing day and that everything's going great for you and that you are enjoying your summer. All right, hit that like, hit the share, and hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.